Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're back here in the garage working on the M2. We have a bit of a special install because if you guys remember, I don't know, a couple of videos ago where we installed the downpipes and we installed the single-sided mid-pipe on the M2 here, we ran into a couple of different issues on the clamps as it pertains to the new mid-pipe that we installed. Now, a company by the name of Valvetronic, pretty big company, actually reached out, DM'd me over on Instagram. They took notice of what we've been doing on the channel here and the problems that I had with the mid-pipe on the car currently, and they offered to just go ahead and send out a full exhaust, so from the downpipes all the way back to the exhaust tips. They also included their valve controller too, so we're gonna be installing all that stuff today. Quick note though, before we jump into this, Beamer Invasion is next week, and I'll be driving the M2 all the way from Tucson, Arizona down to Southern California, and we have a bunch of surprises, things that are gonna be added to the car while we're out in California. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It would be greatly appreciated. But let's go ahead and jump on to unboxing this brand new exhaust from Valvetronic. Getting into unboxing this, let's just go ahead and check out this little paper here. So system configuration, this is their sport exhaust, included cross brace, clamps, valve springs type C, there's 2 of those, and this is just the brushed stainless steel finish. I'm cool with that 100%. Valve configuration, so the electronic control box valve configuration, 2.5 inlet size. We went with the burnt titanium tips, so definitely interested to see how that sounds and looks, most importantly. So let's go ahead and unbox this stuff. So we have a bunch. This is packaged really well. So this is the full exhaust, and of course we have the valve controller here. I'm not sure how this is supposed to be installed, but we will figure it out. But let's go ahead and I'll get everything out of the packaging, get it all situated so we can check it out. All right, guys, so here is the exhaust all laid out. So this is where it connects to the downpipes. So it's still retaining that single-sided mid-pipe. They do include that little bracket that goes underneath the car as well to account for the larger exhaust. Let's see, but man, the quality on this thing is definitely much better. And like, for instance, if you look at the quality of these clamps, way better. So hopefully we don't run into any kind of issues with these clamps. They said that we shouldn't have to worry about anything. They also said that we shouldn't have to worry about adding any RTV or anything like that to the exhaust itself. On the back side of this, they do have their like nameplate, so Valvetronic, and then it says G87 M2, which is a pretty cool touch. I got the exhaust valves there, and then here is the exhaust tips. So I went with this titanium finish look, just because I thought it would be unique. I think that will look killer on the car, because what we have on there now is like carbon fiber ones, and I don't really like the way that they sit out like that. I don't know, but this is what we're going to throw on there. This exhaust, hopefully, now that we know how to take the whole exhaust off already, hopefully this is a pretty relatively easy install to do. But let's go ahead and get the M2 here on the quick jacks, and we'll get started with this install. All right, so that mid-pipe is off, and you can see where it was leaking, and you can see all the RTV on there. So even with all the RTV, it being as tight, those clamps being as tight as possible, it was still leaking pretty massively where it connects to the factory back box here. But we got it off, not without some hard times though. So we had one of this bolt up here, it got stuck, so we had to cut it off. and get a new bolt to go ahead and replace that, so that way we can put the factory mid-pipe on, or not the factory, but the Valvetronic mid-pipe on. So now we are getting all that stuff installed on the car. All right guys, so the exhaust is all installed now. It looks really good. They went together a lot easier than the mid-pipe that we put on previously, but like I said, it looks really, really good. Nice and sturdy. Perfect amount of room. It's not touching on anything. Back here, there's a hanger for the stock stuff. We did have to take that off to be able to clear this. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're installing this system for yourself. But other than that, pretty much plug and play. All right guys, so it is a couple of days later, and we are just getting the valve controller all dialed in. And as you can see now, we've got it all wired in. So it just tapped into like the cigarette lighter fuse. So just a fuse tap, then it's run through those little rubber grommets down to the new valves. So that way we have this little valve controller. Now as you can hear, it opens and closes the valves. So now we can do it. Now granted, it's not using the factory controls in the car, but this allows us to open the valves all the way and close them all the way too. So now that that's all installed, let's finally go get some sound clips of the car really quick. All right guys, so the new Valvetronic exhaust is fully installed on the car, including the valve controllers. And as you can see, we could shut the exhaust almost completely off to where it's not even loud at all, or we can fully open it to, it gets crazy, right? And I'm probably going to go ahead and tune out some of the burbles that I have. They're just kind of too aggressive. They last too long. So it's something to keep into account too. I don't know if you're tuning your car, but if you're not tuned, then installing this should be just as easy, or it will be just as easy, and you probably won't have a lot of those burbles that I currently have, right? Because I have them tuned up because I was running the factory back box on the car. So that's why they're kind of so loud right now, but it is all dialed in. We're ready to go. These burnt titanium tips have definitely grown on me. I think they look super aggressive, and it's unique, right? I think that's one of the main characteristics that I want to go with on this car, is just doing stuff that is not going to be on every G87 M2. And I think the same holds true for the wheels that we're putting on the car here pretty soon. I just got word that the new front wheels are in transit currently, so I'm super excited to go ahead and get those guys on the car. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's video, guys. And of course, we will catch you next week for the next one.